Hello everyone, John Jester here. Thanks for watching. If you're watching this video specifically, you're watching the replay. And just keep in mind, I do live weekly streams where I can come on live and you can ask me questions in addition to me giving the information. But this is a replay that I'm going to be sending out to people. Matter of fact, behind me it says Saturdays at 7 p.m. That time could change, but you're going to be able to catch me every week, one way or the other. So just keep in mind, as long as you're registered and you're on our contact list, whenever we're going live or whenever we're doing something different, something special, you'll be able to attend just being as a member on our contact list. So make sure you're registered. As a matter of fact, if you're here watching this video, you're probably registered. So no worries about that. So stay tuned. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go through a presentation. And if you have any questions afterwards, just feel free to reach out to me and I can answer any questions for you. Okay. So stand by real quick. I'm going to share my screen and get this presentation started. And here we go. This presentation is on the Wealth Code Exposed. This is a program that we put together. And I'm going to go through some information that I believe that's pretty vital to many people, um, of all cultures, of all people in the world, not just the United States, but in the world. I specifically started putting it together from experiences from myself and for my community, but everybody can use this information. And so stay tuned. And I'm going to start off with a quick question. Quick question, like I like to ask everybody, okay? If you had $50,000, if I handed you $50,000 right now, cash in your hands, what would you do with it? Okay, I want you to think about that really quick. If you had $50,000 that I put in your hand right now today, what would you do with it? As you're sitting about that thinking, I have an answer for you. And I'm going to see if your answer kind of match what I'm going to say. And my answer is, I hope you had enough time. If not, just pause it before you go forward. Okay, and here's my answer. Pay bills. When I talk to people, when I consult with people, the majority of the people say those three words, pay my bills, right? They just want to just pay my bill, get it out the way. And if you pay your bills off, and if you just do that, you just paid off $50,000. Let's assume that you had $50,000 worth of bills or close to it, right? If you did that, you already had it up. When you got the $50,000, you were one up. And then you paid the $50,000. Now you find yourself back at zero again. Okay. So of course, before the $50,000, you was $50,000 in debt, but then you paid it off. Now you're back at zero again. So what happens to most people? They run the debt right back up. I want you to hear that. But most people, they run the debt right back up. A classic example, it's someone that owns a house. They own a home and they're in debt with their bills. They got $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 worth of bills, right? So assume that they have some equity into their home. What a lot of people do is they go and take a home equity loan out, or they get an extra loan and they consolidate all their bills and they pay them off. And they're so happy to be having all their bills paid off. Now we just got to pay that loan back, right? Or that home equity line of credit back. What happens is, and it's universal, I want to say it's universal, people wind up paying for the home equity line of credit or the home equity loan, I should say, or a loan that they borrow, a personal loan to consolidate everything. And then what they wind up doing is running the credit cards right back up. So now you're not just back at zero, right? You're going in debt further and further. So you're digging yourself deeper and deeper in the hole. And that's because of lack of education, not education in school, but financial education. All right. So what I like to recommend people to do is to, instead of paying off all your debt, won't you double the money from 50,000 to 100,000? You double that money from 150,000 to 100,000, and then you can pay off some debt. Okay. Because then if you can do it once, you can do it twice. And then you can double it from 50 to 100 again. And then you can double it from 100 to 200. And then you're in a much more comfortable place. But that's what I like to recommend. But that takes knowledge. It takes financial knowledge. You have to learn how to do that. And that's why you're here. So most people live paycheck to paycheck. And today, with some of this information that you're going to learn today, we want to hope that we can give you some information that will help you get out of that situation. So our goals for today is to go over the seven pillars of wealth. I'm going to introduce who I am. Most of you already know if you're watching this, and show you how you can make a full-time or part-time living with this information that I'm going to be sharing with you today. And I'm also going to make you an offer to join the Wealth Code Exposed if that's something that you're interested in, or at a minimum, become a client with us. Okay, so there's seven pillars of wealth. Some people call them pillars, some people call them levels, but for the most part, we're going to talk about seven pillars of wealth. Now, I can say that there are more than seven levels, seven pillars, but I just specifically chose these seven because I like keeping things simple. I like keeping things practical. And I like keeping things actionable. So didn't want to put too much in to this training because these seven pillars will be more than enough to get you started. And matter of fact, that's all you need, really. Everything else is important and they would just be add-ons to what you have here. This is going to be your foundation if you follow along. Now, first we must understand why most people and or most families stay stuck. It's really important. So you need to know why you're stuck in order to move forward. So this is why most people stay stuck. They really don't have a system in place. Some people don't even believe that they can become wealthy. And some people don't have a wealth strategy in place. So as a result, they restart every generation over from the beginning. Each generation starts over from the beginning, meaning that each generation starts off with either, I don't want to use the word broke, but just starting off financially fresh. And they teach their kids to do the same thing over and over again, with the same plan for going to school, getting good grades, and getting a job and working till you're 65 and then retire on half of the money that you was making. So you start over and over with $0 in that same plan from generation after generation after generation, and it's a broken system. So most people have their individual and personal way of conducting their household finances. Some work and some don't. And the reason why is because you only know what you know. And what you know is what you were taught, what you learned on your own, and or what you was programmed to be your reality, right? Very important. What you was programmed to be your reality because you believe in what you believe in because someone inputted that information there. And you think it's true only because you have your information inside a circle of your brain or a block inside your brain. And you know and believe that that's all it is to know. But one of the things I want to encourage you and stress to you that there is more to know outside of the information that you already know. There's more to learn, but you just have to seek information. So this is why I say you have to start with your mind, right? Because your mindset is super duper important. At the minimum, as an individual, you have to do this. And as for a family and building wealth, you must take it a step further and just to a business mindset, right? So why a business mindset? When you adjust to a business mindset, you have a different attitude towards things. You have a different behavior towards things. Your mindset makes you have different performances and different action, and you start looking for different solutions and different results with a business mindset. It's really, really important versus having an individual mindset. And as individual family members, we tend to stay separate. Therefore, we build or lose small branches of financial independence throughout the generations. And most of our families do not accumulate enough money to attain financial freedom, right? By staying separate, by having separate incomes, by not coming together and building together, we wind up having our own separate incomes and going our own separate directions. I can recall, coming up and not just in my household, but other households, people be like, up, as soon as I'm hit 18, I'm out of here. As soon as I graduate from school, I'm out of here, right? Where people leave the household, you go to college and never come back, or you may come home from college and then you get your own apartment without even being financially secure, right? Just people just are conditioned to say, I gotta go, I gotta separate, whereas you should be doing it together. So you do have to start from somewhere. So getting yourself on solid ground is a good start. This is one of the things I like to talk about a lot when I'm giving speeches. Just like when you're flying on an airplane, before you take off, the attendant says, hey, in the event of emergency, put your oxygen mask on first before helping others. They say that on every flight that you go on. Put your oxygen mask on first before helping others, right? And to me, I believe that most people are in a financial emergency. Most people are in a financial emergency, and it's time to put your oxygen mask on, right? Stop messing around, stop hesitating, stop being scared, because that does not get you anywhere. Put your oxygen mask on, help yourself, and then help others. This is one of the reasons why I wrote this book. I wrote a book called How to Master This Game Called Money, right? Because this money thing here is just a game. That's all it is. And if you don't master this game, you're going to be a slave to money all your life. If you do not master this game that we call money, you're going to be a slave to money for the rest of your life. Now, without the proper rules of the game, you cannot win. There's no way, it's not possible. You cannot win without the proper rules of the game. You're going to stay stuck in an illusion like Morpheus, right? But if you learn the basics and put your oxygen mask on, you can learn and you can win this game. I'm telling you, you can, right? This book is not the end all tell all, it is only the beginning, but you have to start somewhere, all right? You have to start somewhere, and this gives you the basics. All right. By the way, if you don't know, watching this video randomly, my name is John Jester. All right. I am a day trader. I'm an investor, a mentor, full-time worker at a particular place of which I'll keep discreet for now. And everything I'll be going over with you, I did while working a full-time job. Okay. So the no time excuse will be off the table for today. I'll say it again. The no time excuses will be off of the table today. Everything I'm going to be talking about with you today, I've done, am doing while working a full-time job. It's going to come to you from a different perspective. Some people come to you with that perspective as is what they're going to be teaching, that they're and they're full-time at it. And that's great and dandy for them. And I'll be there very shortly, because I've been building over the years. But at this point, I want to show the average person that has a job that you can use your job as your first business partner. And with your job, you can build and create a wealth and a nice life for yourself, and then eventually just walk away from it. Okay. So I'm also the author of another book. This one is the first book I've ever written. And the second book is called In the Beginning. Part one is religion. It's a spiritual book. It's more spiritual than it is religion, but it does go into the teachings of the major religions. I love teaching people how to tap into themselves and grow. I love teaching people how to tap into themselves and grow. One of my goals is to educate enough people for some projects to practice group economics in order to build outside of the family and into the community, right? But first, you have to put your oxygen mask on first. You can hear me say that a lot, right? Get yourself together before we start building, any type of projects into the community. Um, I think it's important that you get yourself together and then give information and help family members get themselves together, get out of that rat race of living paycheck to paycheck. And then you can, branch out into the community and help others do that. And in some cases, you can do it at the same time, but still, at first, the first goal is to get yourself going first. All right. And this is why I said a business mindset, because when you start thinking like a business, you start doing these things. And sometimes it allows you to do more than one thing at the same time. So families should build wealth faster uh, when they run money. All right. Families build wealth faster when they run money like a system, not a feeling. Sometimes we get caught up into feelings about money and not keeping money as a system. They start getting hungry for money and thirsty for money and not thinking of it as a system. Businesses have meetings, they have roles, they have a business plan, and so should a family. Your family should have a business plan. They should have meetings. Back in the day, growing up, we used to have meetings. We used to have Sunday dinners when we used to all get together and talk about things. But now nobody, very few people do that anymore these days. It's like, why are we all living these separate lives? Let's come together. Businesses focus on income, assets, protection, and not just cutting back on bills or living below your means, right? That's one of those things that say, don't tell people to do that. Don't tell people to live below your means. Don't tell people to cut back on your bills. You should be living abundantly, right? Abundantly as much as you can. Don't be cutting back. When you cut back on things and live below, it means you're also dropping your frequency. So stay up, stay positive, and keep moving forward. Just do things into a system and not go on feelings all the time. The business goals have controlled decisions, have controlled cash flow, and build a legacy. You want to have meaningful, tangible family financial goals, not just feel good, look good goals. And the seven pillars we're going to talk about today. Number one is the family enterprise. Number two is the revenue engine. And what I mean by revenue engine, I mean does money come into your household? How does money come into your household? That's the revenue engine, or to your business. Capital stacking, entity map, structure, trust ownership, private banking, and the continuity manual. Pillar number one, the family enterprise. Run the household like a small company. I've seen the picture of this, the family business. I've seen this show a couple of times. You sort of want to kind of be like them, right? They run their household like a small company, right? It's a business, that's why it's called the family business. You want to kind of be like them, but without all the drama. Okay. You want to be like them, but without all the drama. They got a lot of drama going on in there. But they're multi-million dollar family with a lot of drama. But they're on the right concept. Okay. Just just have more love and peace in your life versus all that drama. The money is not worth the drama and doing things in a negative frequency way. Okay. But the concept of having a family business is where I want you to start thinking of. Okay. So don't start going and acting and doing things that they do, but have the family business mindset, put things together and keep the positive frequency and the love in with it. Okay. Run the household like a small company. Hold a 30-minute monthly meeting. Okay. Hold a 30-minute monthly meeting. Try and make 30 minutes with your family if you can, right? With your mother, your father, your siblings, your children, your spouses, whoever you can get together, have a 30-minute monthly money meeting, you know? Hey, you've been working for 10 years. We're in our 30s, we're in our 40s, we're in our 50s, we're in our 60s. Let's get together. Let's talk. What have we been doing with our money, right? Where's our money going? What can we do for with our money in the future? Have some roles eventually. Put a vision together. Who's the visionary in the family? Who gonna be the money tracker in the family? Who's that OCD document keeper? All right, review money coming in, review money going out. Go over our salaries, go over our different businesses that we may have. You never know who has a small business venture that they're doing, who has a side hustle that they're doing. Talk to each other, right? And then next month, what are our goals going to be for next month? What are we going to do? What can we get together? How can we enhance this and grow this, right? How can we combine some income or designate some income to go towards something in the future for us? Try and keep it simple if you can, right? And the meeting is part of the system. All right. That's how you begin, starting off with a meeting. That's how you get together. So, how's the family business making money? The income growth is the fastest path to more options. This is why we do it for the options. Money is not the reason why we're doing this. We don't do this because we want to make a lot of money and we want to have a whole big pile of cash laying around. It's not for that reason. We want to make money for the options. You want to have the options to be able to wake up whenever you decide to wake up in the morning, right? And then if you feel like working today, you work today. If you don't feel like working today, be like, I'm just going to sit here and just lay down a little longer. I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to just chill, drink my coffee or my tea for this morning. I'm going to just go take a stretch, take a walk, and go hang out to the park. I'm going to go volunteer somewhere. I'm going to take a flight to Florida. I'm going over to Disney. I'm going over to Chicago. I'm going to wherever you want to go. Do whatever you want to do, or do nothing at all. Those are options. That's why you want to make money. You don't want to make money just to have a pile of money. Make money for the options. Keep that in mind. All right. So the main income plus the side income plus the income business. Start putting these things together on the revenue engine. Okay. How much money does this person make? How much money does my brother make? My sister make? Start putting these things together. Don't be, you know, gatekeeping on y'all information. Y'all got to open up to each other so that we can grow. Okay. Does anybody have a side income? Right? Can we create a business out of this? What kind of business income can we make? Good. How's our business income doing? Each adult should choose one income grade per quarter. Now that we have our business going, one income grade upgrade per quarter, right? Think about what skills that you have that can bring in more money to the business, the family business. Think about what certifications you can get that can earn more money to bring into the business. What type of promotions you can do? What type of new clients can you get? Or a small business offer that you can offer the people to bring in more income to the business? What type of continued education can you get that may not bring in money right now for this quarter, but it may bring in money 6 months from now, 9 months from now, or next year, right? So your goal should be to bring in an extra $300 to $1,000 per month over each quarter. I'm sorry, all right? So try to raise your $300 to $1,000 over time. Use the money and tools the right way and in the right order. Cash buffer. You always want to have a cash buffer if you can, right? Build up the credit and get loans, right? Something we really got to focus on. Focus on that credit. It is super important. That cash buffer is super important. Look for partners, investors if needed, if you have a good business plan, business idea. Build strong and personal and business credit and keep on time and low balances, okay? Don't run your credit card all the way up to the top. Keep it down. Use your debt for assets that produce income not lifestyle display. Okay. When you get this money, when you get this cash buffer, when you get this credit, when you get these loans, use them for uh, purchase assets that produce income. Okay. Don't use them just to purchase things that look good, feel good. Always know your monthly payments comfort zone, right? So whenever you start taking these loans and using these credit cards, know how much you can afford to pay each month. Don't get into debt so much that you can't make the payments. That's why I always say keep your debt down low so you be able to make the payments on time. Okay. Separate the buckets and to reduce risk and stay organized. You keep your personal and your business money separate. Own nothing and control everything, Warren Buffett says. Own nothing, but control everything. You know, he says, get your names out of these businesses, ventures. Get your names off of these properties that you own. We're taught to put our homes into our names, right? And we're proud to, I own this house. This house is mine. It's in my name. See, look at this house, right? Well, people that are wealthy, they don't have homes in their name. Their homes are in their business names, right? Because you never know. Someone may sue you or fall and slip on your property, they're going to sue, right? So if they're going to sue you, they're coming after everything that you have. But if the house is not yours and it's your business's, they can only sue your business. So you want to separate things as much as possible. You're going to start simple with one main LLC. You start simple with one main LLC. And then as you grow and as things do good, you can add on a holding company later, when you have real assets to hold, and always keep and separate your bank accounts, keep clean bookkeeping, right? If you're not good at bookkeeping, then you pay for someone to do it for you. If you're not good at it, you pay somebody to do it for you and you watch them. You pay somebody to do it for you, and then you watch them, say, and no commingling, okay? And commingling is when you're dipping into your business account to buy personal things, okay? You don't want to do things like that. Like you don't want to go into your business account to be buying cigarettes or to be buying some Nikes, unless you have a business reason to purchase those Nikes, you got to make sure you keep the business and the personal stuff separate. All right. Write the rules so your plans stay in place. All right. This is pillar number 5. Have a will, have a trust so decisions don't fall to chance. Decide who's in charge if you're not here, right? Because the truth of the matter is we're all going to pass away. All right. So if you're not here, what's going to happen? I've been seeing more fights and arguments happen in families when someone passes away, the main breadwinner or big mama or somebody pass away, and everybody gets into an argument and everybody gets thirsty. And, well, who's going to get this? Well, she said that was for me. I'm supposed to get this amount of money. Well, if you have everything written down into a will, a trust, prefer a trust if you can, um, you don't leave those decisions just to fall to chance. That way it cuts out all the argument. Yeah, I know you said Big Mama said you was getting this, but this is what she wrote down. Okay. Yeah, regardless of what she said, this is what she wrote down. Okay, so you decide who's going to be in charge, and this is what you have to do for yourself and your family. Who's going to be the trustee or the executor, all right, or the executrix if it's a female, the power of attorney. A trust can also own the LLC's interest to simplify the transitions. All right, keep the beneficiaries updated so as people are no longer in your best interest, remove them and put someone else in place. As people pass away, replace them with someone that's living. Sometimes people are not capable of doing things anymore. So just keep it updated as much as you can. Okay. Yeah, you may need to find an attorney to assist with you. You can do this stuff online, but you can have an attorney review it. You can do it and have an attorney review it for you, or you can have an attorney put it together for you. Totally, it's up to you. All right. Build a family bank for emergencies. This is pillar number 6 and opportunities for generational wealth, right? For generations, because when you build your family bank, it's better than having and putting all your money into a regular bank. All right, we're going to go more into that inside the Wealth Code Exposed, but you want to build reserves, emergency fund plus opportunity fund, right? An emergency fund because Murphy's Law will come into play, plus an opportunity fund in case an opportunity comes up. You want to be able to do it. You don't want to be like, I wish I missed that. I wish I had extra $10,000. I wish I had extra $20,000. I could have got in on that. Well, this is the whole purpose of building your family bank. It's just exactly for reasons like that. You want to properly design the cash value life insurance and or annuities for estate and liquidity strategies. All right, liquidity plus control, not quick profits. You're going to use your reserves to move when opportunities show up. You're going to use your reserves to move when opportunities show up, right? Opportunities, not pocketbooks, not sneakers, right? Not PS5s or whatever they call the thing, those PlayStation things, all right? Not that type of stuff. That's not an opportunity. Everyone should be contributing to the family bank in one way or another. Either you be contributing with income, you're going to be contributing with insurance, and contributing with time. Everyone should be insured. That's part of the family business. Everyone should be insured. That's part of the family business. And the final pillar, number seven, if the family CEO is gone, does the business still run? If so, what's the plan? And this is the continuity manual. All right. So this is just a binder. It's a binder, a small book, a small tablet. It could be an email. It's actually part of the will, right? It don't have to be part of the will, but it could just be a manual. Hey, if something happens to the CEO of the family, to the person that's running everything, the person that's in charge of the family business, what happens next? We should have a list of the accounts, all right? Contacts, who's the key person to contact, who's going to take care of the real estate properties that we purchase. Who's that person that I can call that will sell the properties for us? Um, who's the accountant that I can call to go over the finances? What are we looking at? What we got coming in each month? That's what this binder is about. All right. It's not necessarily part of the will because this is something that you're going to have to start, open up day one and start. What are the passwords to get into some of these accounts? This type of stuff should be into that continuity manual. All right. Security passwords in the vault. All right. And note how to access it. Right. You should note that it should be part of the book. All right. List the key persons, the trustee, the executive. Right. And the backup contact. All right, includes business cleanup steps, right? What happens to these business cards that we have, the subscriptions, right? The subscriptions are going to keep coming out. The bank account, all right, is that part of the plan? Should they still continue or should they be stopped? These are things you should be talking about. So, quick exercise for you. You can pause this if you want, but write down three things. Your next family money meeting date. Say, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to do this with my son. I'm going to actually do this with my daughter. All right, with my cousin, my husband, my best friend, my parents, my siblings, whatever. Write down your next date. Right, one income move that you'll do in the next 30 days. Something that you're going to do to change your income, to increase your income, to enhance your opportunity to make income. Write down something that you're going to do. All right. For example, joining the Wealth Code Exposed. How's that for a move that you can make? Okay. The first item that goes to your continuity binder. Think about what's the first thing that's going to go into there. Write those three things down. You can pause or take a snapshot of this here. Building family wealth isn't luck. It isn't by chance or fantasy. Right? It's a system. Right? You got to meet, earn, use credit wisely, separate buckets, plan legacy, build reserves, leave instructions. Start small, stay consistent, build legacy. And the final message is wealth is built by design, not by chance. Building wealth is not a fantasy. I wanted to repeat that again. It's not a fantasy, it's a formula. Building wealth is not a fantasy, it is a formula. Okay. Where do you start? You've heard this before. Put your oxygen mask on first. Fix you first. Fix you first, then start to build the family. One willing family member at a time. I say willing family member because um, all family members is not going to be. You're going to talk to some people about it, and they're going to be like, "I don't got time for that." That's just the way. That's just nature. It's going to be some people like that, and then some people are going to be like, "Hey, you know what? That's pretty cool. Yeah, let's try that." So, one willingly family member at a time. Um, that's where you start. Okay, but start with you, fixing you, and then move on. All right, so this is why I built the Wealth Code Exposed to help you, to guide you through this, and to give you more information, that information I did not have coming up, that I think that would be very valuable to people. All right, so I believe in giving the man a fish. You can feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish, feed him for a lifetime. So we do both. We voluntarily, we help people out. We give out fish. We help people out. We donate. We give money. We give food. We give training, and you can teach a person to how to fish, and that's what our training portal is about. We're going to teach you so that you can learn how to get the bag yourself, and then take it from there. All right. So we do both inside our program. We're going to teach you how to do both. Inside the program, you're going to learn how to do personal and business credit. All right. You're going to learn how to get that, learn how to fix your credit, get credit cards and or loans, invest in the real estate 101 training, Forex and futures training 101, life insurance. I'll give you some nice tips on life insurance and also give you opportunity to get it on yourself and your family if you don't have it. Talk to you about savings, the family bank retirement option, and AI basics training. I have not included that in there yet, but I think I'm going to add it in there because I think it's important. So considering dropping that in there. And multiple income streams versus one job. Multiple income streams versus one job. Super duper important. So nobody taught us the rules coming up, how to build wealth, how to protect it, and how to multiply it. So now is the time to learn. If you're like me coming up, we didn't learn this stuff coming up. So I had to learn it over time. So now I'm just giving away the bag and teaching it to people. All right, so you have three options from here. You can say, "Hey, John Jester, thanks a lot. This information was pretty cool. I appreciate it. Thank you. You can take this information for yourself and you can put it to work by yourself, right? And or you could do nothing with us. You could do nothing different, right? And you continue as you were prior to attending this webinar and just continue doing what you was doing. All right. Thanks, John Jester. Peace and love. I'll see you later. Okay. That's pretty cool. All right. You can join our mentorship. We do have a mentorship. You can learn how to fish. You can get the training to build for yourself and your family. You can learn how to fish. You can get the training to build for yourself and your family. Or option number three, you can become a client. All right. You can use one or more of our services right now. You can get funded. We can fund you. You can say, "Hey, I need some funding for my business." You can get credit repair. If you need someone to help you out with that, we have services for that. You can get insurance for yourself, for your family, for your business. You can get a family bank started. You can get our marketing system started also. All right, the choice is yours. You always have a choice, no matter what anybody says. You always have a choice. The options are always not the best options, but you always have a choice: the red pill, the blue pill. I'm going to skip this one for now. Going over this. This is just going over the different ways of different mindsets and two different destinies that you can have. And the investment for the program, I'm going to zoom through this, see how much it costs. We did start this last month in May. And Denzel, my man here. All right. So anyone that's taken a course in the past, if you've taken the course of real estate, funding, insurance, credit, all those things, you've taken the course, you paid a minimum of $2,000. I know I have, and some of them had monthly fees of $200 plus. per month. I've been there, done that. I know this. I really do know this because I've done this, and I was really conscious of that when I was putting this course together. So I wanted to make sure. So as I put this course together, as we started, I'm putting a group of people together for testimonials, for beta testers, so they can be part of the first group to join. So I'm anticipating and hoping to help a lot of people change their mindset and the future of their family lives financially. This is our goal. All right, so the investment for the program, if I was to charge $150 a month, it would still be a fair price because if you go to my website right now, that's where it's listed at. That's where it's listed at live is at $150 a month, and that's a steal for all the information that you're getting for $150 a month to be able to learn how to do that. But as beta testers, what I'm doing, I have a discount for $50 per month, right? And I have a special code that I use. If you go to the website, the live website, if you go there, you can use a special code. And what you would do is you would get, um, it would take that $150 and it would change it down to $50. Okay. So if you're interested in either one of our services and you're not interested in joining the Wealth Code Exposed to get one of our services, you can go to the website. You can book a call, right? You can get funding. You can go to get funding. You can go to www.birthdalesolutions.com, right? Directly go to .com and it'll take you to our funding site. If you want to get insurance, you just book a call on our website, birthdalesolutions.net, and you can get the insurance set up, the college saving plan save up, marketing, stuff like that set up. Just book a call and we can hook you up. And that's how you get that done. Okay, so the code, if you go to the website, the code is beta 100. birthdalesolutions.net. Go to put in code beta 100. They take that $150 and they change it to $50 a month. Okay, and that's right there. Now, because this is June and it's Juneteenth, so I'll keep this running, this replay running throughout the month, right? This is not on the website, all right? This is here on this webinar only. So if you're getting this in the email, I'm going to put the special link in the email. This is not on the website. This is a special link for June only, and it's a Juneteenth discount. And you get a discount code. This is the website, right? This link right here will be inside the email that you receive if you want to use this link. Instead of starting off paying $50 for your first month, with the Juneteenth special, you can get started by typing in Juneteenth on the coupon code, the discount code, say apply. And when you put in Juneteenth, your first month would be $19. Okay, Juneteenth, your first month will be $19. All right, that's for the month of June. All right, celebrating the holiday, your first month will be $19. So then you can you can join the program. You can get started for $19 up for like 28 days or 29 days before it renews. It's going to renew $50 automatically. Automatically will renew at $50 per month, but the first month will be $19. And I'm emphasizing this because I want to be clear with it. The first month is $19, and every month afterwards will be $50 per month. So after the first 28 days, if it's not for you, you have the option inside the back office where you're learning and watching those videos at to go to the cancel. You can cancel the subscription around the 20th day. I wouldn't push it to the 29th day, right? But at least the 20th day, if you cancel it, you can cancel it there. But that'll give you the time. But I'm confident that you're going to see so much value in there, you're going to want to continue on. And I know you can't get this information for $50 a month anywhere else. Okay, so let's go. A referral partner program. How do you make money part time or full time? So people ask me, once I come in, how do you make money? Of course, you're going to make money by learning all the information, right? Another way you can make money is by being a referral for our business funding company, which is at birthdalesolutions.com. You can refer people to us right? You can either call us, text us, send us a message, and we'll reach out to them. Or you could be a business partner, and I can set you up a business portal to where you can input people's name and email address in there, or you can send them to your site that'll be similar to my site, and you will be a referral partner for us. And once they come into our portal, then we'll take care of everything from there. You don't have to do anything else. All right, but you'll get paid a commission once everything closes. Also, real estate. With real estate, you can become a referral client. You can become a client of ours. You can be a referral partner of ours. And when you refer someone to us, whether you refer a client that's looking for a home, whether you refer a client that's looking to sell a home, and or whether you refer a property, you find a vacant property or someone that needs to, someone that has a vacant property that they need to get rid of because they got to move or they have a hardship in life or whatever the reason may be. If you refer a client to us or property to us, you also get paid referral fee from that also. Another thing is you can become a real estate agent if you like and take the state exam for that, or just become an investor, which I prefer, and that's by learning what you're going to learn in the back office. All right, as an investor, you can make money by wholesale, flips, and buy and hold. So when you refer people to us, we can pay you for the wholesale deals. We can pay you for the flips. The buy and hold, we do not pay you for because it's just a referral for something that we teach you how to buy and hold. We don't teach people how to refer, buy, and hold properties to us. So we're either going to flip it or we're going to wholesale it, or we'll just pay you a commission just for the referral itself. And then what we do with it from there is what we do with it. Okay. So, but in the back office, if you want to learn how to wholesale, you can do that. If you want to learn how to flip, you can do that. If you want to learn how to buy and hold, you can do that. Insurance. So with insurance, we have life, we have term, we have wholesale, we have IUL, we have partner insurance, you have insurance you can put in your homes, you have annuities, and you have much more. All right. So if you refer someone to us and someone purchased some insurance, we're going to pay you a referral for that also. Okay. Whether you join the Wealth Code Exposed or not, we will pay you for that. You can also become a real insurance agent, which we just had another person just pass this past week, just received her insurance license, all right, for her state. So we also do that. So we coach you through that, become an insurance agent, and there's multiple great opportunities, multiple six figures you can make in that business. And finally, the Wealth Code Exposed, we have a partnership program. So if you send clients to us that say you like the information that we're teaching, you send clients to us and they join the Wealth Code Exposed, we give you a special link, then you get paid for joining, sending people to the Wealth Code Exposed also. So we got a lot of ways for you to make money. That's why I say the excuse thing is off the table. There's no reason why people should not be able to make money if they put in the work. Okay. So this is the point where if you have any questions, if you're watching this now, you're probably watching the replay. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and feel free to yeah, contact me. If you have my number, great, give me a call, send me a message, whatever way you can. Or just go to one of the links and just jump on and just join. Come on inside the business and I'll be reaching out to you then, whether you come on inside. All right, so this is John Jester. I hope you enjoyed this information. I know it was a lot of information, but it's important that we take the time out to build ourselves, to fix ourselves, to grow ourselves, and to stay positive and to learn as much as we can so that we could do for others. Okay. So that's it for now. And have a great day. Stay up. Keep your frequency high. And I'll talk to you guys on the next video or on the next live session. Thanks. I'm Jester signing out.